Guys, it's Kylie and I'm up late and I just wanted to show you what I like to do during the nighttime when I've been having a rough time. I usually stay up late and watch a couple of TikToks to try to rest my brain. For those of you that are new here, I have autism and ADHD, so sometimes I have to break my routine to get rid of rumination and scattered thoughts. And I usually go to bed and I put the movie Coraline on and I fall asleep. But since I didn't want to do that tonight, I wanted to share what I'm going to be doing with you right now, which is I am coloring for the first activity. So I can't find a yellow that works with this, so I'm just going to do the best that I can by combining a little bit of red. We're gonna see how this works. A little bit of green. Maybe it'll work. It's not working. It is not working, so I am gonna try my best. Maybe I can combine a couple yellows and see how it'll work. We have a couple different yellows here. I am so embarrassed. Finally, we have one. Oh, two got a wound. But, you know, I try really hard to color him. And, my God, it is impossible to find a freaking color that works. And it's driving me to the brink of insanity. Dude. This is just sad. It truly is, because, gosh, it doesn't... Is there a crayon that can just not disappoint me when it comes to the color? For real. Here. God. I keep running into the same yellows all the time. So I'm just gonna go with regular yellow. Sorry, Pooh. You got a weird coat. You got a weird blister. We're working through it. I'll probably try to turn it into something anyway. Now I'm coloring his arm. Kid coloring books are so fun because they come with a lot of activities. I think I found the best yellow I'm gonna get for this. So he will have a blister, but that's okay. We're gonna ignore that. Then we're gonna go for his top. At least it shows up. There's a lot of lemons that just don't, a lot of colors that don't show up. And it's kind of weird. But I suppose this will work. There we go. So we're going to do this. And we're going to take that same red that gave him a blister. This is magenta red. I just had the bright red. This is the bright red we're going to be using to color his shirt. And If you want to get your own coloring book and you want to sit and color with me, you most definitely can. I love to color. I think it's a soothing experience. I know it's not soothing for everybody, but I think it's a soothing experience. And working with the colors I have, I will make sure that I color in his shirt. There, Winnie the Pooh himself is done. Next, for the pot, I am going to use, this is like a mango tango is what it's called. I'm just going to use this because I want the pot to stand out. So I'm going to color it in like so. For those of you who can't see, I'm bringing it up here. This is also a great age regression activity for those of you who want to age regress. I love it. Personally, there's nothing cuter than a coloring book when you feel tired or sad or you're trying to figure things out. So, color. Now for the top. See, this shows up orange on the lens, but it looks kind of red to me in person. There you go. There's a little bit of white space there, so I'm just going to cover it in as best as I can. And there you have the honey pot. And for the honey itself, because I'm like really pretty, I'm gonna dump the crayons out on my bed and see what kind of pile I'm dealing with here. See, I deal with a lot of broken ones. There's a lot of dark burnt mango. This lemon. I really have to pick something for the honey that's going to look like honey. So this is kind of like a mahogany. That's weird. There's a lot of orange here. So burnt orange is going to be what I try to use for the honey, because to me honey is more of a like a golden color anyway. So yeah, there we go. A nice golden color. This will make the honey stand out, make it look good and appetizing so Pooh Bear can eat it and feel good about his choice. Here. And that's look at that coloring. Nice. For those of you who enjoy body doubling, this video is for you. I love body doubling, and I feel like if I could, I would always have it around. So there's the honey is colored. And this has a story to it. It says, Pooh keeps his favorite food handy. Honey. Honey is his favorite food. If y'all have never seen Winnie the Pooh, the Disney series, I recommend you go try it. Now, I'm going to use this nice, I wanted to use green for the chair to make it stand out. So I'm going to go in with, this is a really light green. I'm going to go in and make it darker. But I really like it. It gives it a nice, cute little contrast. I know wood is not usually green, but that is just how I wanted to do it. Put a little green. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll put some darker green and behind it, like this green is called shamrock because it's the same as the shamrock clover. I really like this, so I'm going to use this to color in the deep wood, make it look like it was painted or something. Coloring activities are a lot of fun to relieve stress, but sometimes as adults, we don't have the patience for adult coloring books. So what I would suggest you do is going to the dollar store is a really great way to get coloring books that you can use and that have bigger pictures. And they're also really cheap. So you don't have to pay $14 for one of them. There you go. We've got our green chair so far. And I'm just going to scratch this in using my lens as a guide. And we're going to scratch that in. And do this. If you're still watching, bonus points to you, because I know this video is kind of a longer one, but this is okay. I'm gonna scratch this in using my lens as a guide, and then I'm gonna scratch in a little bit of green color for the chair and making it look nice. I'll also, if you guys want, I'll link where I got my crayons in the description. It's just the 96 pack by Crayola from Walmart, and that's all I use. So now we've got the chair colored. And all that's left are Pooh's arm and the remaining honey pots. So I'm gonna go. Ooh. Let's see what green yellow does. No, barely shows up. Here. Where's the one I did use? Yellow. Okay, here it is. There. There we go. Now his honey pots. I'm gonna do melon. I'm going to color these a softer color because they're just background. They don't need to stick out or anything. There we go. And I love doing this with you guys. Going in with that same orange and yellow. It's okay that if it looks like a kid colored it, because it's really supposed to look that way. So don't feel bad if you color outside the lines or anything like that. There. And now here we have our picture of Pooh. And it is all colored and it looks good. So that is one thing I do to make myself feel better. Sometimes I color for hours and sometimes I just color for a minute. I like to do one page at a time because it shows me how I feel and it lets me gauge if I want to keep going or not. I really enjoy doing one at a time. You're going to see me pick up these crayons. I'm trying to get them all back in the box neatly. There we go. Take crayons in fistfuls. It is much easier to put crayons in a big cardboard box than it is for me to get them in individually when I'm dealing with a trademark Crayola container. So if you have kids or you yourself struggle with fine motor, this is a great alternative. This was just a shipment box that I got from my mom, and so I recommend that. So it makes that easier for me because it's easier to grab. So now, done with that, I'm going to, this is the coloring book I have. I'm pretty sure you can find it online. The back of it. That's what I do first. The next thing I do is I will sit and I get myself something to hold on to if I need to stim. I got this little s'more squishy thing from Hobby Lobby actually, and the squish factor is really good, but I will sit there and I will fidget with something like this to try to make myself feel better at night because it helps me to ground and be more stabilized. So I'll squeeze it like that. I like talking to you guys about what I've really been feeling, but I also like to take measures for feeling like how I want to be feeling. Like getting squishies helps me to let out anger and stress and disappointment and things that I go through on rainy days, because I go through that a lot with having autism, is rainy days. And it's not always good. Some days it's really tough. Some days I can't get out of bed because I don't have any energy. And some days I do great. I do better when the sun is shining, and I also am able to go to the park then, so I'm able to get some kind of exercise, which makes me feel, super happy about life. And it is the happiest time in my life when you guys are seeing those shorts of me and Cordelia and we're out at the park. That is my happiest time. So I'm just going to continue mashing. I bought this squishy this way at Hobby Lobby, and it is $5. They're $5 a piece, at least in Spokane. So I recommend you get some if you need something to squeeze. Slime is also a good sensory toy for that at night, because I find that if I don't have something to squeeze at night, my brain will run amok and decide that it doesn't want to function proper, and so I need something to ground me. So I focus on the texture and being able to squish it back and forth, and these are really great because they recover super quick. Like, I will show you guys, like, it's already starting to recover. And if you turn around and you look at the face, it is already starting to, the shape is coming back to it. So, like, it takes, like, maybe a minute or two for it to regain its original shape, and then you can squish it again, which is fantastic. I also want to let those of you who are blind know that I am working on getting accessibility components for you guys so you guys can enjoy my videos and understand what's going on in them. I'm just having some time struggling with that at the moment because I am still researching how to do it. But I plan to have that accessibility feature in my videos very soon. So as you can see, it is fully a recovered squishy after that. And yeah, these are only $5. So now that I did that for a while, I like to make sure that I have enough light sensory options that make me feel safe so I can see during the night. But I like to have low lighting if possible. So what I do is I take my mom got me LED lights, and so I pick a color based on my mood. I like blue. And I know there are those of you who will probably say blue keeps me up at night. If you don't want blue, you could always use orange, light orange, yellow. It doesn't show up accurately in this thing, but this is pretty yellow. But anyways, I'm going to go to blue because that's my favorite. So I'm going to turn off the light. You'll see, but it's low enough so that I don't have sensory problems. So if I am still up, what I will usually do is I will work on setting up my projector for home to watch a movie. But before I do that, I tend to like to sit down on my rugs and feel these rugs are really good for sensory stimulation. And I don't know if you can tell, but they make a really pleasing sound. I use this as a routine to ground myself. Do this. I love to sit by myself at night and kind of collect my emotions. I like being up at night because no one else is. So I can have the energy to be a night owl once in a while. And if it really is rainy and crappy out, I can take Seroquel then, so I fall asleep for an entire day. Honestly, it's probably not the healthiest sleep schedule, but once every couple of weeks, I have to reset myself, so this is how I do it. So now, after I play with the rugs, they're really soft, by the way, like pillowy soft. I also have, in the crib, I have the blanket I have a fuzzy blanket that I could use if I wanted to get it out. I have a weighted blanket, which I'm going to show you guys how I use my weighted blanket for deep pressure, but I am going to explain that in another video. So the next thing So I basically just let myself play with the rugs for a couple minutes, try to take in the sensory stimulation of the space around me. I try to create a perfect space to stim while I am feeling low energy or tired, because if I have this sensory space, it feels safer. It also feels safer when it's dark, because then I know that it feels safer, because I feel like the blue light just makes everything better. I can turn everything down at night. So we've got this, and we just listen to the rustling. For those of you who don't know what stimming is a technique that people with autism use to calm themselves. It can be things like rubbing the rug like I am now to feel the soft fibers individually, or it could be rocking or hand clapping or playing with a fidget to basically show to relieve anxiety and stress. So that is something that I do at night when I've had a hard time grounding myself, is I just get really comfortable with the things in my environment so that I feel better. Sometimes during this time, I choose to put on music or I choose to put on a movie, but I'm just mostly focusing on myself talking to the camera and kind of giving myself a calm vibe. Sometimes I have to override my mind and the negative thoughts it has and just relax. At this point, if you're...
Here.
Thank you.
Do you have something to drink?
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure you take them.
Yeah, my stepdad just stepped in to give me my medication. But if you guys are watching this far, thank you very much. And I just wanted to tell you how much it means to me that you are watching. And I just wanted to see if maybe we could take a couple deep breaths together. Starting now. For my ADHD, I like to take a couple moments to breathe, to slow my mind down. Because a lot of times what happens is that I get overstimulation from ADHD as much as I do from the autism, because my brain goes everywhere. And so, believe it or not, having those lights on really helps to turn down the noise in my brain, because it gives me something to focus on. And feeling the rugs gives me a sense of texture. So, I'm using the five senses adapted for how my brain works. So, like looking at the blue lights for sight, feeling the rugs for texture, breathing for smell. Sometimes I'll spray perfume on a stuffed animal to help with that. But yeah, I will just sit here for like an hour um, and feel the rugs and stuff like that. Sometimes I will play with my toy car that is in the closet right there. That's the Our Generation car, and that is the horse. Sometimes I will drag those out and play with those and have, them go back and forth, and I will stay up late and go through that if I want to. But mostly I'm making this video for anyone who wants to body double a night routine. Um, yeah, so this is it for this is my medication that I'll be taking those very shortly. But I wanted to just show you guys some ways of dealing with nighttime loneliness and nighttime anxiety. Um, I find it very beneficial to also apply lotion if I feel stressed. So if you have a favorite lotion or a favorite scent or whatever, I rub that lotion all over my body. I am not going to do that for you guys though because I'm in pajamas, but I hope you guys um liked this video, and please watch and subscribe to my channel. Have a good night and get a restful night's sleep. Oh, and one more thing I forgot. It doesn't hurt if you have a stuffed animal companion. They can offer touch. You can look at, she apparently, her nose glows in the dark. You can look and count the number of details. Sometimes there's more than one color. I have a stuffed animal that's like that, but she's just brown. So, but you could also at Build-A-Bear get scents put into them so that you have something to smell as well. So texture, sight, and smell. You can also get a sound. So she has a heartbeat, and if you listen closely, you might be able to hear it. Let's see if I can do it. If I know where it is in her. I don't know if you could hear that, but that's really kind of subtle. This is a great option if you want to go to sleep right away. Her name is Ileana, after the reborn that I will be getting eventually that I told you guys about. I just don't know when that'll be. So, anyways, we hope you have a good night and thanks for watching.